Hi YouTube viewers, welcome to another video. My name is Manoj Joseph and in this video I'll take you through on a basic recording macros. So let's get started. Now, what is record macro? Record macro is performing an automation or might be simplifying the routine job without using VBA scripts. Now, most of you would ask me what is the difference between a record macro and VBA script? Record macro is a feature which is available in Excel where it involves only few steps to make sure that it gets simplified. But in case of VBA scripting, you have to open the project, you have to write the coding to make sure that it is performed. So the main difference between record macro and VBA scripting is record macro can perform only limited actions. For example, it can work within the workbooks and worksheet. But if you are about to connect any other applications such as Outlook, PowerPoint or any other applications like PDF, record macro doesn't work. So that's where you'll be going with the VBA macros. So let's get started. I'll open an Excel file or the working file what we are going to do today. So before that I just want to take you through key points like the navigations, the format, shortcuts and the developer tab. So first let me go with the developer tab. So developer tab is available in this session, but by default your Excel file doesn't enable this. So what do? Go to file, options, customize ribbon, and then here you will be having something as developer which will be unchecked. You have to check this in and then click on OK to make sure that the developer tab is available. Now what does developer tab have? This way we are going to see this video, the record macros. And apart from this, if you are about to record a macro or you've already done a macro in a workbook, what is the format which is reliable? This is what it is. By default, Excel workbook is in XLSX format, but macro enabled workbook and the binary workbook only allows you the scriptings. So you have to either use binary workbook or macro enabled workbook. And then comes with the navigation part and also the shortcuts. So the two frequently used shortcuts in VBA is like Alt F8 and Alt F11. What does Alt F8 do? It gives you the list of macros which is available in this workbook, and Alt F11 is the Visual Basic for Application window. So let's get started with the scenario. You can find the data set. So in today's video I'll just show you how we are going to record this scenario. So the expectation is you have a data range, you have to copy this, paste it in row 18 and you have to filter with the POs which is mentioned here. This is what it is. So how do we do it? First let's go to the developer tab and you have record macro. If you just click on it, a pop-ups comes here. You have to give the macro name. For information, the macro name should not have any space or it shouldn't begin with a number. Either you can start with a text and instead of having a space you can just use underscore. That is allowed. And shortcut keys and the description is something which is not mandatory. And store macro in, this should be always in this workbook. Click on OK. Once you click on it, here you can find something. It says like a macro is currently recording, click to stop recording. So in recording macro we are going to go with 4 steps. One is start the macro, step 2 is perform the routine action, step 3 stop the macro, step 4 tweak the macro if needed. So we have done with the step 1. Now we are going to perform the routine action or the job what we do on a daily basis. So usually most of the people will drag the range based on with their mouse, but what I expect is like click on A5 and use your shortcut to select the range, control shift and right to the last column and control shift down to make sure that it is captured till the last row. Now control C for copy and I go to A18, I paste it. Again what I do, I click on A18, again do the same action, Control Shift right, Control Shift down, and LDFF to make sure that it is filtered, and I just copy the search criteria here and filter it in column D, and now you can find it is filtered. Now step 2 is complete. What I am going to do is I am going to stop this, which is step 3. Once you are done with this, click on Alt F11 to make sure that you go with the Visual Basic for Application window. And once you record a macro, here there will be another thing which is created module, and if you just expand it, you will have module 1, and you can find the macro 1 which is available here. And this is what we have done. Without even writing a code, Excel itself has written script based on the macro we have created, the job or the record macro we have created. So in this, let me just go to the other window. I'll delete this. I'll rerun this record macro by creating Alt F8 to get the list of macros. Here, this, like I said before, it gives a list of macros which is available in this workbook, and we'll always select this workbook, or else if it is all workbook, the macros which is available in all the workbooks will also be available, which I don't want to see. Click on the macro which I need to run, click on run. Perfect. Now what I do, I again delete this complete line. I want to change the PO number. I'm just going to give 53, and what I do, again F8, Alt F8, select the macro, run. What happens? My filter option is 53, but it provided for 55, which we initially created. So let's go into the Visual Basic for Application window, Alt F11, and when I just review it, it doesn't mean like we need script writing knowledge. It is like basic logic which you are going to apply. Where this is my search criteria which I am giving me for the filter. What I do, instead of creating this, I'm just going to remove it and create which sheet I'm referring. This is record macro sheet, and record macro sheet is in sheet 2. So I'm going to call that sheet 2 dot range, and within double quotes I just give the exact cell, and the cell is J6. Now what I do, I just save this file, close it, I'll unfilter this, delete this complete record where my output is there, and Alt F8, click on run. Here you can find the PO is available here. Let me just again create another search criteria where I'll just go with 56. Again Alt F8, run. This is done. So this is how you create a record macro which is dynamic, where at the last you can tweak it to an extent. Hope this video was useful. Please comment for any feedback. We'll see you in another video. Thank you. Bye.